Hello, I'm Tim Danton and I'm here to talk about why businesses need to improve their business intelligence. Now, fortunately, I'm not alone. I'm joined by experts in their field. The first of which is Paul Henderson, Chief Executive of 21C. Hello, Paul.
Hello.
And do you want to give a brief introduction of what 21C does?
21C are a Microsoft Gold partner and we specialise in delivering business intelligence to the health and social care sector.
And I'm also here with Chris Gresty. Now, Chris, what is your role?
I'm the Assistant Director of Health Informatics at the North West Ambulance Service. We're the largest geographical ambulance service in the UK, and we provide emergency service and patient transport services.
And finally, I'm joined by Andrew Fryer. Now, Andrew, you are an evangelist. What exactly is an evangelist?
An evangelist is a technical specialist looking at the latest technologies that Microsoft is about to bring out over the coming years and trying to articulate what the future looks like so that people like Paul and Chris here can make sense of what's coming down the track and prepare for it.
Lovely. Today we're going to cover 5 key elements. We're going to start with why business intelligence is so vital in 2011. We're going to talk about how business intelligence gets lost. And so that will include the dangers of double entries, that will include the dangers of email, and also we're going to talk about the publish and subscribe model. Finally, we're going to talk about how to prepare your business for business intelligence in 2011. Now, Andrew, I'm going to start with you, just to explain why that Microsoft believes that business intelligence is so vital in 2011.
I think it's really about the fact that we're in a very, very tough economy at the moment. I don't think anybody's immune from that in their personal or their business lives. You clearly need to understand exactly where you're spending your money, what you're spending your money on. You need to understand the return on investment you're getting on that money. And business intelligence is a consistent approach to deliver the right answer as quickly as possible to the person that needs it.
And what stopped businesses in the past from embracing this?
I think there's a number of issues. The ability to be able to disseminate the large amounts of information out there, the tools to make business users, the decision makers themselves, have quick and immediate access to the information that they need. And cost. It was very, very difficult to set some of these systems up. It required very expensive software and it required deep subject matter expertise to get it done.
Well, I think that's one of the key things, because how do you persuade your board to make that investment right now when money is so tight?
Well, I think what you have to do is look at the strategy of the board and pick up the things that they want to do. Reducing costs, increase sales. Obviously, when we're in the public sector, it's mainly about providing a better service with limited resources available. Nobody wants to cut the health service, for example. We want a first-class service, but we're also very concerned about the money it's costing. So you look at those key things that your business wants to do, and then you can relate those back to the kind of offerings that BI can then deliver in terms of timely, accurate information to make accurate decisions.
So, Chris, coming to you, what actually made North West Ambulance Service, what made them embrace BI to the level you have?
Business intelligence became the obvious option for us after we'd looked at where we were. We'd had a merger relatively recently where we'd become a large regional organisation, and we were left in a similar situation to most organisations when they merge, where we have lots of different data sources, lots of disparate data sets, not all being used appropriately.
And so what was the result of that? What was the problems you were facing?
Lack of availability, lack of the information to actually make the decisions on. We're a 24/7 service, we need information around the clock, literally all the time. And on that basis, people weren't getting access to the information, people were getting turned off very quickly to the actual processes that were in place. And I found myself having to make the case for business intelligence, and the Microsoft stack offers a great deal of benefit and a great deal of value, and it's not just in the small scope we started off with. There's actually plenty of other functionality within the Microsoft product set which will allow us to have benefits in the future.
And so, talking about those, is that what persuaded the senior team above you that you presumably had to persuade to actually embrace, to spend the money?
It's a difficult balance to achieve, because obviously, as we've already mentioned, the fact that obviously there's a different climate out there at the moment, and obviously it requires investment in the initial stages. But what we found was that actually the Microsoft product set can be as large or as small as you want it to be within your organisation. And in actual fact, when you look at sort of like the bespoke systems that are off the shelf, the actual cost benefit was actually going to be much greater with the Microsoft product set. And it was very easy to make the case. We had been left with a lot of legacy systems, as I said, and because they were sort of like small operations, it became very difficult to manage the resilience with those. Going with an industry standard, we obviously made the organisation and the information that it holds much more resilient.
And so, Paul, is that a fairly typical process that you'd find?
I think it is. Listening to the guys talking, I think, you know, there is an environment in the UK at the moment that is going to be tough. And if you think about public sector businesses and you think about the health and social care environment, you've got an increase in demand for services. You've got a wider set of demands for services. You've got organisations that are restructuring and changing and merging and divesting themselves of different areas. And in that kind of context, getting hold of your data, making good business and clinical decisions is absolutely essential to your survival as an organisation. If you make a small mistake in some of the decisions that you make, the consequences can be, in a business sense, quite catastrophic financially. In a clinical sense, they can be catastrophic for the patients and the client groups that you're dealing with. So business intelligence is really, really important, and even more so in 2011 than maybe it's been in the past.